spooky friends, we're on day 26 of our 31 Days of Horror Movie Villains, and today we're talking about the OG Norman Bates. Norman Bates is portrayed by Anthony Perkins in the film Psycho, directed by Alfred Hitchcock, based on the 1959 novel by the same name. Norman Bates is an interesting character because when we first meet him, he's a very shy and kind of well-mannered guy. He seems like a sweet dude. He owns this motel, and we see Marion arrive, and they have several conversations, but throughout those conversations, we start to learn a little bit more about him and his relationship to his mother. As the movie goes on, we learn that Norman Bates actually has DID. He has dissociative identity disorder, and his two identities in his mind are himself, Norman, and then his mother, Norma. We learn a little bit about his mother. She's very prudish, she's very overbearing. Norman often hears her voice, hallucinates her voice, and we learn that Norman actually unalived his mother in like a fit of jealous rage. His mother started seeing another man, and after she was no longer there, he started kind of taking on her personality, and he started hearing her tell him to do things. He would start to do her bidding, but when he would do it, it's like he would kind of go into this trance and he would become his mother, even dress up in her clothes, do whatever she wanted him to do, and then when the deed was done, he would come to, it would be like he didn't even really remember what happened. Throughout the movie, we learn Norman kind of has a lot of shame involved, like with Marion, attracted to her, he spies on her, but then it's like that part of him that is his mother overtakes him and wants to punish her for being a temptation and also himself for being tempted by Marion. So in like the famous shower scene, we see what happens to Marion, and later on we see Norman cleaning up the crime scene. He's cleaning up what his mother did. Throughout the movie, we learn more about Norman and Norma, and like clearly their relationship was a little toxic, and we don't really know if he was so jealous that he had some sort of like sexual attraction to her, or if it was just like something else, some like unhealthy attachment to her. But clearly, like, he has an interesting relationship with his mother, and it in turn morphed into DID. At the end of the film, though, we see that his mother has kind of overtaken Norman. There's like discussion about how like with these two personalities, one was eventually going to win over the other, and unfortunately for Norman, Norma won. And so at the end of the film, we see this long shot where Norman is smiling into the camera, and we are to assume maybe that is Norma who has finally taken over her son. Now, I'm only talking about Norman Bates from the aspect of the very first movie, Psycho. I have not seen all the other iterations, but I think this character is so interesting. This is a beloved movie, and people credit it for like really creating the horror genre. So many things have been inspired by Psycho. I mean, even if you have never seen Psycho, just like certain scenes from the movie are in your brain, just from pop culture references. I think Norman Bates is such an interesting character with so many layers, and Anthony Perkins portrayed him so beautifully. If you've never seen Psycho, highly recommend it. Just such a great part of film history. One of the best movies that Alfred Hitchcock ever produced. I really enjoyed this film, and Norman Bates is an interesting person.